Okay, everybody, welcome back for Leviathan. Obviously, it's Friday, and I hope you have something cool coming up for the weekend. I do, so I'm not gonna be streaming tomorrow. I'm gonna stream Final Fantasy II on Sunday. Hey yo, Industrial Media Chase, how is it going? I'm gonna hit record this time. Yes. Sure. Hey, Kevin. How are you doing? Forgive me the extra sniffles today, but because yesterday I cut the grass, I guess I got some allergy, so I'm gonna sniffle a little more than usual. Apologies for that. So, gotta figure out what I want to do here, and if I want to keep that side, there.
Hello.
Hello from hell. How's it going?
It is raining like a mofo here right now.
Oh, is it common there, or just these months this year?
Well, it's been common lately for it to rain, but like right now, I just checked my backyard and all of my chairs on the patio are thrown all over the yard. So
Okay.
that needs to be fixed. It's a pretty high intensity wind right now.
Okay. Let's see.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, we had a lot of wind too. Even today, like not now, but it's kind of windy today. It's been windy. It's not very hot. Hello, Ahmed Short. Good. And sisters. Hi, Hi,
Zordon.
Oh God, please. I do remember that one. Oh man, my desk is still wet from before. Oh, damn it. What do you say? I toppled the basically toppled the glass a while ago. Not a while ago, actually it was 3 hours ago. I spilled some water on the
dog
desk.
is freaking out.
Oh, why? Because of the wind?
Because of the storm, yeah.
Hopefully your internet doesn't go out.
Looking up at me from between my legs, wanting me to hold him.
Oh, that's cute. Where is the Jesus? Where's the previous? Okay, I'm gonna find it. It's wrong.
Here.
Okay, he's on now. Let him say something.
Say something. Say something.
Woof. Nope.
Who is it? Who is that? Who is it?
Just silent.
Come on.
I'm gonna use the red one. Nope. He's like, I'm scared. I am scared.
Yeah.
You got a sticky situation.
It is a sticky situation.
So I don't want to be talked to. Please. Don't talk to me, master. So I'm gonna do this here.
Yeah, today has been a chore day for me. So I took out the trash, did the dishes, been doing laundry. I'm glad I did most of that earlier before it started raining.
I bet. I wouldn't like to go out with heavy rain. Honestly. So for this, I'm gonna have to. So I took the side I already have and I mirrored it on the other because I want to see more or less where that should be. Now I have to decide what to do. So either I can literally take this and paste it to the other side and adjust and see how it looks. You might notice that I removed the selection. It's this selection launcher because I don't like it. It's so annoying. So I'm slowly learning how to use Clip Studio. Slowly. Very slowly. No, not this. What did I do? No, did not apply trend. What did I just said I'm learning. but it's clear I'm not. Shit. What is this? This is nothing. I don't need this. And this either. Okay, this is. But yeah, so Ace, hello. Do you have any new news for us about the game or anything else? Your game.
No. I've been trying to figure out something in the game and it's been kind of bugging me, but I'll leave that for, when I actually get it finished.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of news, Novel AI actually released a new model today called Kyra. And it is a 13 billion parameter AI model for writing.
Wow, it's getting exponential.
So they have like 3 tiers. There's like the low tier, the middle tier, and the high tier. And they released the new model today, and the high tiers all get access to it. I only have the middle tier, and I'm thinking about upgrading to the high tier for the rest of my month subscription, just to try out the new model and see how good it is.
Well, I haven't tried it. Is there no like free trial of that? Like nothing like ChatGPT? It's just completely paid.
No, you can try it for free, but if you pay for like the subscription models, you get a lot more memory out of it.
Okay. I would be curious, just to help me write those newsletters. Right now, I've not really used so far. I've not really used ChatGPT because it was butchering what I was writing. Like it was literally making it look like some annoying marketing email or something. Like like the copy paste articles you find in every single blog nowadays. Like when you look for best budget laptops of 2023, something like that, and they're all the same. They're literally all the same. So I don't want my stuff to look like that. I would rather have a personal touch, even if I write like not exactly well. I would rather prefer that.
Well, Novel AI takes some getting used to. Like there is some setup you need to do for each time you write something on there. So it isn't really like, it's not like ChatGPT where you can just insert something that'll create it for you. There's different kinds of AI models and modules, and then there's like a memory section and then a lore book and all of the stuff that you can pre-set up.
Okay.
It's really good if you want to like write actual stories that are set in a world. I mentioned this before, but like, so the memory only extends to a certain amount of time. So like if you're interested in creative writing, you can't like think of it as I'm going to write a whole book using this one thing. Like you basically have to separate it into chunks.
Right.
And so like you have to treat each thing like I'm just going to write a chapter, right? And so that's the way I've been using it. And so sometimes like if you want to continue the story, like the memory section, you need to kind of like give a brief synopsis so that way it knows like what's happening and what things it should be pulling from in order to generate content. But the lore book really helps a lot because like I have like so I spent like just time creating like a whole bunch of different like encyclopedia entries for various people, various concepts of various races, all these different things. And so like for each encyclopedia entry you can set keywords, and so whenever you use one of those keywords in the story, it'll the AI will automatically read the entry and pull any sort of data that they can use to help continue the story, which is like really handy. So that way, if I like have a character, one of the characters is in one of the stories I'm writing is named Mia Farrell. And so every time I use the name Mia or Farrell or, Captain Farrell, that kind of thing, it'll automatically pull information from its built-in lore book. So that way it knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Okay. That's useful. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I would need that. I would have to
you don't have to keep reminding the AI of various details based on its memory. It'll just automatically, that's like a pre-built-in memory that it can automatically draw information from.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very useful actually. Versus, having to do everything manually. ChatGPT is completely useless on this. But I guess it does what it is. It's ChatGPT, so it just talks to you. It's not very useful for most things.
You can't use ChatGPT really for storytelling because after a certain amount of time, it's very obvious that it starts forgetting certain details and whatnot. Yeah. So having like an AI that can actually, interpret and remember things over a long period of time is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I've not really used it much. I tried to use it even for work recently, but I don't know if they nerfed it or something. It's not been very good for me, honestly. In the past few weeks, I guess.
I'll have to send you some of the stuff I've been writing with it. It's been pretty fun.
Sure. Oh, speaking of, as I said, I did finish reading that thing that you sent me.
Okay.
I have to admit, at some point I was a little confused. Like, I was not sure exactly what had happened in the store. Then I figured out the gun was empty. That's why it said click, right, instead of bang. It took me a while though, because I'm like, wait a second, what's going on here? Because they still got the money, right, in the end, or not? Because someone picked up no.
Nope.
Okay, let's see. I didn't understand that because I thought someone picked up something that had the money in. I read something about it. Picked up the baggie or something.
Yeah. So the main character had a baggie with him the entire time. I mentioned it a couple times in the story. Like I was very vague about it, but it was basically a bag of drugs that he had on his person. So you gotta kind of understand it from that context. The story takes place like in the 70s, I believe. So yeah, it is very heavily drug related.
Okay. And I could not really understand the role of or why the girl was there at the end when they get out of the shop. Like, I was maybe because I don't know the actual story. Like, this is part of an actual story, right? But I'm not sure. I understand why she was there. Like, why or what? What was the point of her being there?
Well, you can do a thematic analysis.
What is that?
Well, what is the theme of the story? What's the takeaway?
That's a good question. I'm not sure, honestly. I am not really sure.
It's not really something you can just read it and be like, oh, well, I understand what it's about. You kind of have to read it carefully. It's
maybe
more.
I didn't read it carefully. I read it, but I guess it was not very careful. Because I was a little puzzled, honestly.
Yeah. It's not something that's like genre related. What that story is a little more literary, so it's a little more symbolic and metaphorical, and it's not like you can't take everything that you're saying at face value. It's more like you need to rack your brain a little bit and think about like why are these details here? Why are these people saying these things? What's the purpose of this person in this? Why is all of this happening? That kind of thing. It's not. I didn't write it for it to be obvious. I wrote it so that you would actually think about it and try to analyze it.
Well, yeah, I was trying to think like, what? Well, first, I felt like I was missing some elements. Like, I should probably know something else. I don't know if that's the case. Like, you actually should, or actually I should know part of the story or who the characters are. But I was really... I could not really understand. So I got the fact that I figured out that O'Farrell was not alone there, right? He had two let's call them minions or sidekicks there, and the grunts. And I was assuming that once the guy pulled out the gun, I thought he was also stupid. Like, why would you pull out a gun? You don't even know if it's full or not, or maybe you do, but you try to shoot. Like, I would have assumed like he would pull out the gun and threaten him, right? I assume that's what the other character Dundon was thinking. Like, when he told the protagonist, the point of view guy, to take the gun. But I thought what would happen was like that they would threaten this guy and the other two guys would start a fight or something because he was not there alone, right? I guess I assumed that those guys, he was not around alone because maybe he knew he would have issues with these people. I don't know, something like that.
Well, the reason why they're there is because O'Farrell is doing the scheme, right? If you remember. So his scheme, which is something that I based off of something that actually happened to me, was
Yeah,
that,
I remember that. I
the
noticed that.
Korean guy,
Yeah.
they're buying brand name clothing in the discount clothing stores, so that way they can take the clothing overseas and
Yeah.
resell it for higher prices and make a profit off of it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they were there.
Oh, that's the only reason then. Okay.
But Dun went there because O'Farrell owed him money, and so he gave I don't know if I should say the main character's name on here or his what everyone calls him, but F-head. He Dun brought him along with the
like
gun.
Everyone calls him like that. Literally everyone.
Yes, and that's something I took from the original story.
So he doesn't have a name.
That's just what everyone calls him. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Dun brought him along, and he said, if O'Farrell doesn't, pony up the money, take out the gun, and we're going to basically threaten him to give us the money.
Right, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Give it. Right, but the idiots didn't think about checking the gun, so the gun didn't have any bullets in it. And again, that's a symbolic thing, the fact that his gun wasn't loaded.
Okay, symbolic for what?
Well, think about it. I mean, okay, this might be like a nuance in English, right? But like, if you have a gun and you're shooting blanks, that's symbolic of
impotence,
leverage, right? A lack of power.
Okay,
so so the fact that these two idiots go in, they think that they're going to get the jump on him, and then they pull out the gun. The gun doesn't have any bullets, so it's useless. So they just run out of the store because they're kind of humiliated, and they realize that they can't do anything to stop this guy. That sort of feeling of like hopelessness. I don't know. I guess you could kind of characterize the story as nihilistic in a way, because I write a lot of nihilistic stuff. That sort of feeling of hopelessness and being trapped in an environment that you can't really escape from. I mean, when they're in the car ride earlier, that's what Dun says.
Yeah.
He wants to leave, but he feels like he can't, that kind of thing. He feels like he's trapped in a box and he wants to claw his way out.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That's sort of like just, that sort of small town malaise of I want to do something with my life and I can't move. I feel like everything's chaining me to where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was going with the story.
Okay, I see.
I hate analyzing my own stuff. I'd rather other people do it, but
well, I'm not very good at doing it. I should probably write it more carefully then. Because I did understand like the fact that I kind of inferred what you just said, the fact that the gun was empty, so these guys really didn't have any leverage at all, and they went in thinking they did, but they actually didn't. And that seemed to be like recurrent, like because one of them said, "Oh, I have nothing to do here. I would like to leave."
Right, and Dun gives the main character the gun. Which, I mean, you can infer many things from that, but the fact that the main character uses the gun and Dun doesn't kind of makes it seem
right.
Like, if something bad happens, the police will show up at his house and not mine.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, the protagonist is being used by this guy, clearly, who's a coward apparently, because this other guy owes him money, but first he doesn't go alone, and second, he doesn't take responsibility for the criminal action of pointing a gun at someone. So yeah, he kind of came off as a bit of a coward. Dun. Very much so, actually.
If you reread the story and keep some of the things I've said in mind, you might understand it a little bit better. Okay.
I can do that.
But yeah, there's a couple of... I try to not be very obvious with the things I say in a story. So like at the very end when Paisley is there, the main character is talking with her, and when she actually shows up earlier, and he says something like, I saw a blonde wraith.
Yes.
But he wasn't sure what it was, and it was actually her that he saw. So he comes out, and she's by herself eating ice cream at night.
Like, why? That's why I thought it was weird. Like, why is she out at night eating ice cream by herself? Like, isn't that dangerous or something? I did think like, oh no, maybe this is some sort of ghost for real, or he's completely out of whack because he has got adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wrote the story to be almost dreamlike in that way.
It didn't.
It's
Yeah, it
supposed to
didn't feel
like a
real.
dream.
That especially that part. That really like, why is she there? Like this doesn't make sense. Because I did remember
Although,
the Wraith thing. So
yeah, I mean, the narrator is what we call an unreliable narrator, right?
Mhm.
So you don't know if you can trust what the narrator is telling you in the story. So like, and throughout the story, this is obvious because I threw in details where he tries to describe things, but he's not sure what they are.
Uh-huh.
So like there's like a line where they're driving in the car together, and he's like, I think I saw a tree or a deer.
Or
And he's
the
not
yeah.
sure whether it's a tree or a deer.
Right.
He just throws it out there, and it's like, well, which one is it? Those are two different things. And
Yeah.
that's I mean, I did that intentionally to try and
Okay.
enhance the fact that the person telling the story isn't necessarily a reliable person.
Yeah, it felt like it felt like he was not completely there mentally. Especially at the end, because this thing with the girl, as I said, like why was she there? Like, or is she actually there? I don't know. So
Well, she you know, again, without being too obvious, I throw in some details in there, like he's looking at her arms and he doesn't see any marks on them because, you know, when you take like a heroin needle
yeah.
or something and jab your arms and inject yourself with drugs, and it kind of implies that she used to be like on drugs and now she's off. So
Okay.
to him, she's almost like an ideal for him. It's like,
Hmm.
wow, she escaped her former life and I can't even do that, that kind of thing.
Hmm. I see. I see.
But she's meant to be very angelic.
Yeah, that was the feeling I got. That's why I thought maybe she's not really there. Maybe she's an actual ghost or something. Also, because I think she disappears at some point. Like not literally, but she like leaves very quickly. Or am I remembering wrong?
No, the story ends with them just sitting there. The thing is, like, Dun Dun walks up while F
Yeah,
Head is
yeah,
sitting
right,
there, and he doesn't really acknowledge her. So it is sort of questionable whether she's
right.
actually there or
Okay.
not. But yeah, I mean, the final line of the story kind of says it all. I wish the gun was loaded. That tells you exactly the mentality of the protagonist.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just a short story I wrote in college, but a lot of people seem to like it, and they wrote papers analyzing it. So I figured I'd share it.
Really? Papers?
Oh yeah, I wrote it for a workshop.
Okay. Cool. I did remember that you made it for the workshop, but I didn't know someone actually made papers about it. Is it the one that got you something like an award or something like that? You mentioned something similar. I don't know if it was this story or something else.
Well, I did get an award for my Greek studies
Okay.
while I was in school. But I actually I took a poetry workshop too, and they did like a vote thing. All of the people that were in the workshop together, they did a vote on, you know, I forget what it was, the specific phrase, but it was like who contributed the most or produced the best work, that kind of thing. And they did award me an award for that as well. So, which I was surprised. I think my poetry is trash, but
Oh, you could have been a poet, see? Time to quit AI and become a poet full time. I don't know how profitable that is, though. Nowadays. Sadly.
hard to say.
Hello, Ahmed.
Well, anyway,
again.
thank you for reading it.
Pleasure. Feel free to send me stuff, like if you want me to read something every now and then, even if I'm not the best reader, as you can probably tell.
Well, the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah. I'm also not used to, you know, analyzing things that is a little more complicated.
From what you tell me, you're. It sounds to me like you read a lot more sort of like nonfiction, so like very like just a lot of prose that's very literal, where it's like you're reading things and it's like, okay, so here's like a guide to self-help and whatnot, and that's a very different mindset of reading.
Not only
Yeah,
though, like
yeah.
last year I was reading a lot of novels. I read Frankenstein and stuff, but I guess they're a little less specific, like, or no, maybe the meaning is not so. How can you say it in English? I know the Italian term. Like hard to figure out, or actually that needs a specific type of analysis to figure out, or some more complicated. Because like Frankenstein was pretty obvious to me when I read it. I was actually about to write.
It's very
something.
literal.
Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff I'm used to reading. So not very, not anything that requires a specific study to understand or more care while you read.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm just saying it's a different mindset.
Well, it's interesting though.
Like reading like the average fantasy novel is different than reading like Moby Dick by Herman Melville. That's a book that you have to read in a certain mindset. That's like, oh my god, this guy's command of language and the ideas and symbolism he's using is just unreal.
Mm-hmm. I have not read that book. It's one of the 2 reads that I still have.
You should. Everyone should.
I know.
It's one of the greatest books ever.
I knew.
Hey, ex soiree. Welcome.
Oh, hey. Doesn't it mean... No, that's soir. Is it French? Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome. I don't remember what soiree is, though.
It's like a party.
Okay, then it is like has to do with soir, like it's evening. Gotcha. How are you doing? And welcome to the lame party. No, it's not lame because Chase is here. Otherwise, it would be lame. Because I would just be talking by myself, as usual.
It's so funny how one stream I can be talking about like bull testicles or something, and then the next stream I'm talking about novels and analyzing literary works.
Right.
What a tangled web of a person I am.
What tango web? Well, it takes 2 to tango, so at least I'm here to say something. Sorry, that's a stupid joke. I'm trying to figure out these scales. I've been trying to figure it out for the last half an hour, but I don't know what I want to do with them because I don't want that too much stuff here. I should probably just make a brush. At some point I think I will make a brush for scales that have several shapes so that I don't have to keep doing this. So if I do it now, I mean I can square. Let's see. What if I do the other way? And I don't know if I can mirror it though. Wait. So if I go in and then out, and bigger. I don't know, something like that. Transform, no. Register material image, brush tip. All materials. Image brush. Okay. What did I call it? I don't know. Hopefully I'm gonna find it. So now,
Nemo, have you seen that that meme that somebody posted where the guy is like looking up and there's a UFO and an alien comes out of the UFO and the alien walks up to the guy holding like an electronic pad, like a tablet, and on the tablet there's a picture and the alien drew himself as a Chad and the human as a virgin.
No, I'm not. No, I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Probably not remembering at the moment. I don't think I did. But I am a meme person, so I've seen a lot. I might just not remember this one.
I'll share it on Discord.
All right. Let me see. I have a problem with memes. At some point, I start looking for memes, and I can't stop. So, what language is that?
The alien language, I guess.
Jesus. Let me show this. Copy image. Go here. Is it? Yeah, this one.
That'd be great if aliens showed up and they're like, "We're Chads, you're virgins."
I mean, the green alien with the Giga Chad chin. That's something, really. Okies. Let's find that. I should learn to name things. Really seriously. Not that. Not. Oh, there's a chain brush. Oh, these are all important from Photoshop, I think.
I'm really bad about that too, like not naming things. Like I'll save Word documents as untitled and whatnot, and I can't remember which one is which.
Same. Where is it? It's gotta be here somewhere. Or isn't it? Downloaded image material.
I do that with Blender too. Like I'll just add objects in and then not change the names. And then when it comes to animating, I'm like, oh, wait a second, which one is which? I don't remember.
Yeah, that is a common issue. Man, I'm gonna have to do it.
Is it cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3? I don't remember.
Yeah, especially with Blender, I never ever change the name of anything. Layer 1? Did I call it layer 1? Oh jeez. Just call it layer 1. Yeah. Can I rename it? No. Stupid software. Okay. But no. Direction. Can I angle direction of the pin? Okay. Turn it a little bit. Can you turn? Okay. Yeah, except I don't really like this. I should have made an actual scale, probably. Or several. This is very bad. Let's increase the gap. More. Less. More. Can I change the tip? Vertical. It's pretty much the same. Angle. Flip horizontal. Okay. Flip. Ugh. I don't know. Let's see. No. Yeah, but I should. You know, I don't feel very good about this. Maybe I can morph it. Morph it a little. I always have this problem when I'm making scales. Like, I can't make them look like they're flat, but I mean, they are. The surface is flat, but the scale is curved. I always end up making everything look curved. Like here, it looks like it's going around the surface. Should probably flatten a little bit more. Probably. And now, you know what? Let's make the manual. Manual is the way, everybody. As always. I've not decided what excuse me, what kind of Pokemon I want to do next week. I don't know, because if I might just have let's redesign some crappy Pokemon sort of stream. I might. We'll see. Because otherwise it's going to be, you know, the usual. Unless I take like
we should be fair.
Mm-hmm.
We should be fair and do like one of the older Pokemon that sucks.
Yeah. Could do that. Ursula. Which is not even that, I don't know, for me, like, what the thing about the new Pokemon is just that it hurts my sense of aesthetics. I feel like whoever designed them did not have any sense of aesthetic. There's got to be something wrong in the head of that person, basically. I don't know. They're just bad looking. I actually know a person who doesn't draw, really. It's not you. But sometimes she drew things, and they're the most horrifying things I've ever seen. I'm like, you should not draw, please. And I feel like that. Like, I feel like some people have a very, very disturbing sense of aesthetics, and so it throws me off. Like, this is how I feel about some of those Pokemon. So,
is it the same person that made all those weird like clay things or whatever?
No.
Okay.
No, that does not disturb me as much as the other thing. But I know someone that when picks up a pencil, like, it's like, what the hell? That looks ugly. Like, just genuinely ugly. So please don't draw. I'll tell this person. Like, I don't really understand, because it's very strange. And so I just think some people simply do not have, or they have a very wacky sense of aesthetics. I don't know. And also, apart from that, how can I say it? I think there are specific groups of people you can tell the psychology of by just looking at their drawing, because they're all the same. Like, there is consistently something that's off. Not like the one I just talked about. No, I can't mention it. But we had examples of that in the past, in the kind of not remote, but not recent past.
I know what you're referring to.
Right. And I can tell. Like, I can tell right away, because I've seen it so many times now. I don't know what it is, but it certainly is strange. It's been a while now, but man, every time I go online, I see something like that, I'm like, okay, gotcha. Spotted. Spotted, because it's so obvious.
I hate to break it to you, but artists are typically kind of like neuroatypical kind of people. So you're more likely to see that in art communities compared to like other communities.
That's true. That is true, yeah. To be fair. It is true.
You're one of the more normal artists I've encountered, to be honest.
That is probably true. It's funny because I don't really have artist friends apart from Cheese. I find it really hard to make friends with artists usually. Also because I'm kind of conservative usually, mind-wise, and usually artists are not. So it's pretty difficult for me to join the free, quote-unquote, free thinking mindset. You know what? I think I mentioned this already. I took the Big 5 personality test in 2018. I was surprised because I have both high openness and high conscientiousness. That's kind of weird to get both, like 80% basically.
I think I do too. Yeah.
That's so strange. Like, I would expect like either you're open and so kind of, free-minded, I guess, so not very responsible. I don't understand how I can have high openness and high conscientiousness together. But alas, I do. So whatever. Whatever. That surprised me when I took the test. I'm gonna have to redo it now because I don't know if I changed it. If that ever changes, or maybe I just need to take the test again to just confirm it, because I only took it once. But that was weird for me. It was definitely
well.
Weird.
I think that's I mean, that's kind of. I think that's reflective of sort of like a more nuanced personality or
Probably.
Intelligence. Like I'm very similar in a lot of ways, and some people are like very surprised at some of the opinions and the way I think things through. To me, it just comes naturally, but like people always assume that I feel a certain way about certain things based on some of my other opinions, but it's not. That's not really the case.
Same.
Like I don't subscribe to like there is a particular mindset, and so you have to have all of the opinions. Like
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's like.
Exactly. I always refuse
to be
put in a box because it's not for me.
Yeah. it kind of goes that way with like politics, right? It's like,
Yeah.
well, you have a conservative opinion about this, so that means you have a conservative opinion about everything, or liberal opinion about this, and vice versa. And that's not really how I think.
Same.
I don't think what's the proper conservative argument for this.
Oh yeah.
I just think about things, I just like analyze it from like a neutral perspective, and so that kind of puts me at odds in certain positions.
Absolutely. Yeah, actually, yesterday I was just reading about this. In this book called Tribes, it's Seth Godin. He's a marketing person. He wrote like What is Marketing or This is Marketing and other info books. He's pretty good. And so I'm reading some books. This is also about marketing, like how to market yourself to the broader audience.
So like find an audience.
Vitalize it, because obviously I'm doing it by streaming and so on. So I'm interested in understanding the mechanics of that. And he was like, if you're curious, do not assume everyone is. It's actually pretty rare. Most people are just religiously adapted to just one thing and religiously respond religiously to everything. I'm like completely
they're beholden
like
to a certain viewpoint or worldview.
Hey, cheese.
Speaking of that.
Yes. So yeah, I guess up to a point in my life, I found it very strange. Like when I was confronting people and they were assuming some things about me just because of the idea I had about something. To be fair, for a few years maybe, I was like bugged by some things. Because I grew up Catholic, then I quit. And then I started, studying things. But for a certain time, I was like a little bit like kind of, okay, I'm taking this, like, I don't like this thing, so I must not like this other, or I just don't want to hear that. Up to, I don't know, my early 20s, then I changed my mind. That's also what made me kind of break up with a lot of friends that were more like that. I could just not bear anymore to hear things that were extremely unrooted in facts and very rooted in just a quote-unquote religious idea, like not in the sense of religion like Christianity or what, but religious in the sense that it's that period, so you're not gonna even look at a different viewpoint, and I cannot subscribe to that anymore. It's been a few years now, so I think
I totally empathize with that situation. That happened to me a lot in college, actually. I remember I took a course in like critical theory or something like that. And at the end of the semester, she like went around to all the different students in the classroom and were like, what are some things that you took away from this course? That kind of thing. Like, what did you learn?
Yeah.
And I remember that I was speaking with her. And the thing is, the professor and I, she and I never like butted heads. I wrote a paper for her one time and she made me rewrite it because she said that my paper was excellent, but it didn't fit what she wanted. So she made me rewrite it all over again.
Okay.
And so she's like asking me my opinions, and I just flat out told her, I got to be honest with you, I don't really agree with anything that we learned in this class. And I don't find a lot of it logical. And oh my God, I got so many like angry faces looking at me with like disgust because I just happened to like not agree with a lot of the stuff that we were being taught. But I didn't care. I was gonna stand my ground. I don't care if people don't like me. So I'm not going to change my opinion just because other people dislike me. And I kind of learned later on that that's not a common characteristic.
Apparently not. That's what trumped me when I was in Japan, because at some point I was like, okay, well, this is not logical. This does not make sense. And so I was expecting once you show someone else that it is not, they kind of agree with you because we're all human beings, but apparently it's not a thing. And so then I realized maybe I am weird. Like I am the I'm not saying that I'm particularly special, but I am the exception in the sense that it's not very common to think this way, that you actually try to understand and analyze, despite the thing being outside of your realm of beliefs or something. I try to get a fair opinion about anything.
Yeah, I learned that kind of like I learned that like the most hated question you can ask somebody is why, because it forces them to think about their decision making.
Oh, do not go to Japan and ask why. You're gonna get extremely angry. I got anger, like literal anger, and frustration thrown against me because I asked why. Like I was literally told, like, do not ask why, you're annoying. So, but why is this? Like, when you're a kid, you ask why because you want to understand. So what's the problem? Anyway, cheese, no, just marketing in general, not women. I think I'm way past that.
It's a different market.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's a different market. So, butter and sauce is super yummy. Help me show what? Are you drunk? What's wrong with? But anyway, yeah, it's.
You use the bumblebee emoji. That's the one that Kim always uses.
Maybe it's Kim.
Why are you stealing Kim's emojis?
He's simping again.
What a buzzkill! Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, the BuzzFeed. Jeez, the BuzzFeed, the buzzkill. Anyway,
but yeah,
I don't know.
I mentioned it before. I worked at I was a manager for a store, and I interacted with the average person every day. And I have to say, I wasn't too impressed by the level of thought that a lot of people have. And sometimes you'd come in and like people would just start ranting about various things. Like they'd be talking about politics or something like unprompted, and then I would like hear them talk, and then I would ask them questions about why they think about certain things or certain matters in a certain way. They didn't really have good answers, or they like overestimated how smart they really are, which is an issue I see with a lot of people.
Yeah. That is true. But I guess, I don't know, this is something I figured after, moving around a little bit and having to talk with a lot of people. Before that, I was not really aware. And even on my own, like, I actually started understanding more of what I was thinking by seeing the things or some behaviors, noticing some behaviors I had in other people. Because at some point I started observing others more, and I'm like, wait a second, I did this too before, like, and I don't do it anymore. Like, why? And that is strange. That something I certainly never really liked was telling, and I did when I was a kid, like telling something just because I know someone told me it must be true, so it's gotta be true. But I've been embarrassed so many times because at some point I just didn't know exactly why. Then I stopped and I started, because I was tired. Like, I want to know if I say something, I want to know what it is and why I say it. So that's when I stopped many years ago at this point, just believing things and starting to really try to find answers. And that's the best way to go about living, really. Just go, you find your own answers, and do not be religious about beliefs in general. Like, do not extrapolate something from other beliefs. So I believe in this, so I'm not going to talk with this kind of person, which is something I really disliked about there was a movement, I guess I can say it, whatever, I don't care. So there was this movement of the churches of prosperity, or in any case, these new strange, weird rock music Christian movements.
Prosperity gospel, yeah, like
yeah, these ones
and whatnot.
And so I had a friend of mine who was like, "Hey, this is so cool! Like, hey, look, I'm talking to you about this." Like, okay, well, I'm gonna listen because I'm not, I don't have a preconception about it. So okay. And that seemed okay, like that's a nice message and whatnot. But as soon as I said, I was reading Jung, he's like, "You read Jung?" You cannot see my face now, but he like the face I imagined him was like, leaning back and opening the eyes, like, "No, you can't do that." Like, what? Excuse me. Like, why not? I'm just trying to get informed about things. It's basically a fundamentalist way of seeing things, and I don't like it.
Yeah, like, I'm not a religious person. I was when I was younger, but I feel like if you really want to believe something and you want to believe the truth in that, you should also look at the things that contradict you or argue against you, because
Absolutely.
that's how you form better arguments. You have to know what other people are actually arguing, because if you're faced with somebody and they bring up like these, these questions or arguments or contradictions, and you don't have an answer, that's going to make your position look a lot weaker, and that's probably going to make your faith in that position a lot weaker. So you really should seek out things that don't agree with what you think or what you believe. And then that doesn't mean you have to change your beliefs, but it means that you should aggregate information all the time, so that way you can understand the perspectives of other people and why they think the way they do and why you think the way you do. That's how you form a more logical, rational worldview.
Yeah, also because so what throws me really off is, again, the type of person that does not do any research, and he's like, okay, this is like this. Like, okay, well, if you want to convince me, you're going to have to actually do something to convince me,
right?
Not just tell me. And that's a big problem I have in Japan, because everyone's like, oh, this is like that. Like, okay, why? Same question, like, why? If you get, I'm extremely happy to change my point of view and to question whatever I believe in, apart from maybe some core principles. But I've got to meet someone who's really studied that. So who really has an informed and valid opinion about it, because otherwise I cannot consider. How can I consider someone saying, oh yeah, this person had a backache because he went working in the field, it's got to be a curse? Like, okay, why? So I cannot believe that. But I'm absolutely, like, whatever religion one might be, if they have valid reasons for that, if we want to debate about it, absolutely. Like, I'm just going to be enriched by that. Maybe I will keep thinking what I think, but at least I will know that, that person I actually respect, because they have this kind of opinion and it's informed, and I don't know who's right. And I don't care.
That's the same thing with me. I see the reason why I don't talk about religion or, a lot of these hot button issues is because I really need to know that the other person involved is doing so in good faith, where I feel like, okay, this person is going to be rational. They're not just going to dismiss everything I say offhand because I might be presenting something that they don't necessarily believe in. I want to have a discussion with somebody that's open to hearing what I have to say, my argumentation and the logic behind that and the evidence and so on and so forth. But there's no point in arguing with somebody that there are a lot of people out there who will not just be convinced by any evidence whatsoever. And it's not worthwhile engaging those people. You're not going to change their mind.
Right. What I said sometimes on stream is like, well, I guess it's not worth arguing. It's worth having a discussion. But to have a discussion, both people must be willing to have a discussion. And that is usually yeah, that's usually not the case. So it's like when we were doing the Pokemon streams, like, I'm trying to have an actual discussion. I'm actually explaining why these things are like this, but some people came on stream and like, oh, you're a monster, or in the comments. Like, yeah, but why? Like, can you actually go point by point and tell me why? Because I'm really, like, if you think I'm wrong, that's fine. Maybe I am. Just tell me why. Because if I am, I want to know. But you got to convince me that I am. Or just tell me that.
It's like the bad faith straw man arguments where they come in and they're like, oh, well, you think these suck, but these Gen 1 Pokemon suck too. And it's like, I don't think Nemo ever said that all Gen 1 Pokemon were good. I think you're misrepresenting the argument. He's pointing out the logistical, practical flaws in the designs. That to me is like, that's just somebody reacting emotionally and not thinking with the logical part of their brain.
Yeah, most people are doing that anyway. They just react emotionally. 99.9% of people. Very hard to find someone who is gonna listen to you. If you touch, look, I was talking to a person the other day, and the person said something like about the Lord of the Rings, and there is a TV show, I'm like, TV show, and then I figured they're talking about the Rings of Power, and so I was like, yeah, I did not really like it for the politics thing, and this person got super upset. He's like, oh, whatever, think what you want. I do not understand what you're saying, but think what you want. Like, come on. That's just my opinion. Why do you care so much? I don't think it's, I would have asked, like, oh, why do you think so? Or what do you mean by that? Why would I get upset? Even if you say something like that about something I like, first, I might even agree with you, because like we said many times, like, I also sometimes like things that are questionable and not very good technique wise. But if I don't, I'm like, okay, well, tell me why. And maybe I agree with you, but I still like it. I can still like it even if I agree with you. There is no problem with that. Or maybe I disagree and we
Right.
can
You
have a
still
discussion.
recognize the flaws.
Yeah. And if not, we can have a nice discussion, and I think we both come out enriched by that instead of angry, which is usually the outcome of these kind of conversations. Which kind of sucks.
I can't identify with that mindset where you can't criticize anything that you watch. To me, or anything that you consume, therefore pointing out any flaws is like an attack against the person or something. Well, I really enjoyed it, and I think that your opinion is stupid and trash. And it's like, well, if somebody brings up valid points, shouldn't you consider those valid points rather than taking it as like some sort of personal attack? And that's why I hate like communities and fandoms and things like that.
Yeah.
It's like if you present any sort of flaw or some sort of argument, or question the logic of a decision made by a company or something, it's like people take that as a personal attack, and that's first of all, that's weird. Like, why are you simping for a corporate entity that doesn't care about you except for the money you can provide them? But also, just can't you like be a rational person and like just remove yourself from the media that you consume and be like, okay, there are some like objective flaws in the way that this is presented. You can still enjoy it. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it. I'm saying that if you want to be like a rational person, you have to separate your emotions and your personal connections to the things that you're consuming.
Pretty much, yeah.
A lot of people have a difficult time doing that, it seems.
Very much. Do you guys think it's better with or without scales? I do kind of like without because it seems a little more sleek, but I don't know. I think it needs some sort of scales, even on the top. Ace, what do you think? With or without?
I'm a bit iffy. Like, I feel like I could go either way. I guess the concern I had was like putting the scales on the top side and the bottom might make it look. It might obscure the image a little bit by having them both there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it looks good with both, but I like question like if you zoom out the way you are, if all of that just kind of melts together at some point.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I guess it depends on the color too. I'm gonna leave it as a separate layer, and we'll see.
Yeah, I would do the color and see what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to if I use the scales, I have to consider them with the because of the grayscale as well. So no, I'm gonna have to decide something. Oops, no. Probably gonna move to cyan ink at this point. I do like the contrast that no scales make. So I could have like something else, like just basically muscle shapes or something like that, and just have sort of things. I do like the simpler look and the overall contrast. I do like the contrast of this. It's kind of classic, I guess. I don't know. Maybe some faint scales. Yeah. The scale. Cheese, what do you think? If you didn't go out for lunch yet?
He hasn't said anything in a while. He might have went to make food.
I'm undecided.
All right, I think I'm gonna head off now.
Okay. So thank you for the conversation as always. Very entertaining.
Yeah. Very, very heady today, I guess, as you could say.
So yeah, I will not be on tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to talk to you next time, whenever you are available. All right. So have a good one. Take care. I just noticed something. I forgot this on the other side. Yes, there you go. This was supposed to be there. Probably even. Or, what was that? No, it's here. Probably gonna have a different color there. And yes, I called your name. Do you think it works better with or without scales? I do like the simplicity without scales, honestly. But I do like with scales too. To a degree, with scales looks a little weaker to me. I know it's counterintuitive. Excuse me. I feel like it's a little more serpent like I could add some glittery texture on top so it looks like scales, but like the big dragon scales, I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. I almost really prefer the non-scaly version. A few things to consider is the size of this thing, how big it is. It's big. Very big. Should reflect the size of the scales. That's true, although it could be armored. Like heavy plates, so I don't know. I can double down on these scales and like the ones that already have. But I agree with you on that. Yeah, it might. That's a good point. Like the bigger the scales, the smaller this thing might be or might look. I was trying to see for the Final Fantasy 15 one that looks a little more like what I want to get. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know about the belly scales though. Like if I were to go back to this, I would still at least keep the ventralia. Hey Primrose, how's it going? I would at least keep the scales on the tummy, and I can double them eventually, as I said. I can probably go here and let's see how it looks by just doubling them. Because if I double them, I feel maybe it's a little more. It's gonna look bigger or something. I clearly did not feel like inking all of this stuff, all of the scales, but maybe I can move some of these around. Oh, yeah, that was like that. Maybe in areas where the skin pulls and contracts, you can add small collections of scales. I wonder. I do want to keep the ones on the tummy though. Good, just doodling, nice. I'm also kind of doodling. I don't know. I could keep it like this. It might look a little bigger if I double the scales. Hopefully. They don't really add so much overhead because I'm probably just gonna clean this layer up instead of, you know, adding another to ink scales. I might just move some of these. Ventralia or Gastralia. No, Gastralia is just, it's the bones of the T-Rex. Thin bones. Up to you. Do consider the size, like how large animals have these tiny eyes. Well, these are kind of small. Can't make them smaller in this, otherwise they're not going to be visible. I see your point though. Yeah, that's a valid point. That is a valid point. I don't know, I feel like it does need some sort of scales on the bottom. Again, I might just fade them a little bit. But these, unless it like, I don't want to go 3, like 4, quadrupling this. That might be a little much. So yeah, they look a little, maybe just doubling them would be enough. But quadrupling them probably too much, so I'm just gonna do this. And see how it looks. Alright, I've been drawing snake scale. I can show it, I guess. I was snake. I was working on this snake earlier. So I actually I did a lot of scales today, so I'm like, yeah, well, maybe, who knows. Just some exercise I do every now and then. Trying to draw a cat creature with a turtle shell. That's interesting. Just because I'm trying new things. You can post it when you're done. Cat, a turtle cat. Alright, double. Also, I'm probably gonna go to Japan on early October 2nd, likely. So we're gonna have this time until the end of September. And then we're gonna switch back to, I'm not sure which days yet. Again, it depends on my local availability. If I am able to stream in another time, I will. But let's keep the previous one. And for now, it's going to stay like this, obviously. Just to let you guys know. I'm not looking forward to getting sick, but... October, yeah. Yeah, because tickets are expensive already, so if I don't get it now, it's never... It's already about $1,000. Even if it's 2 months. 2 months. Still, it's too much. Okay, I like this. All right, promote it. Promotion. Baby in slow motion. Feels so good. Maybe, yeah, maybe I can add some like little glittery scales like here. Some parts. Probably just in the paint. It looks, yeah, you're right. It looks larger. That's a good advice. See, sometimes you also give good advice. I'm surprised. Okay. This is way better. Way better. Here it's just merging probably all together, so. Way better. Alright, everybody, let's move to size. I'm gonna stop recording. I'm gonna have to open Paint Tool Sai. Hopefully I'm not gonna spoil or anything. And then, oh, was it clip shit? Was it a clip file? Where's Clip Studio? Is this a clip file? Leviathan, yes. Okay, huh. Can I save it without spoiling anything? Yeah, okay, Shiva Leviathan, okay. I'm gonna have to move this away because otherwise. Photoshop document. Leviathan. Okay. I lower this and bring the Leviathan in here. There you go. Yeah, because I've got, you know, NDAs to respect. and I might end up in trouble if I show that stuff. More than I get in trouble for showing Chase's stuff. So I'm liking it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not sure about the arm there. It's farther away, but whatever. Arm wing. Actually, before proceeding, I did want to try out one last thing. So I'm gonna go without the. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna keep them for maybe a future one. Yeah, you won't tell, but YouTube will. Jeez. So, I'm gonna try out. Excuse me. I don't know if I wanna. And not 90 though, 80. If I wanna try adding extra Beards. How is it called? The dragons have these barbs. Are they called barbs? Cheese, you're the anatomy person. Are these barbs? Why am I in the mood to play Shadow of the Colossus now again? Because we talked about it yesterday. I saw a little bit of the remaster. It looks really nice. Oh god, I'm gonna go get. So I have to go. I would like to go get my PS4, all my stuff. I think I was thinking from 14 to 20 or less of August, because my gym is closed anyway, so I have nothing to do. But then they're having like a full-blown emergency down there. It's like fires, blackouts, the airport's broken. I don't know. I'm low-key thinking I might just have to go to Japan without my stuff and buy new stuff. I guess in any case, I'm probably gonna get the PS5. I don't know if it's out on PS5, but if you get one, I think it would be worth it. It's on the PS4 anyway. I have PS4. Tendrils. I mean, they are tendrils. I think it's called barbs or something like that. Yeah. I don't know if I like them. Here's the thing. One of the reasons why Leviathan seems so imposing to me is because of that. Like, because of the floating things. I do have a picture here. Like, you see this. Let me copy. You see this picture? I don't know, it kind of feels like those wiggling things make it look bigger. So also adding the small scales. So, I don't know. I'm not a fan of how I made them. And maybe this should be... What if they are somewhere else? Like a little mustache, like a dragon mustache, or they're here. Because technically, if they come from here, they could be. I don't want to create too many, or. I don't want to put anything between the jaws. It's gonna be like that. And this should go out. I don't know, something like this maybe. No. I do like that image a lot. That's why I'm using it as a sort of inspirational reference. It might be too much. Might be too much. What do you guys think? Let me know. Comment, like, and subscribe. No, just let me know if you prefer the version without with these things or without. You might notice that for these summons, I'm a little more undecided than usual because I do care about them a lot. I don't know. I don't know for this, like, I would have to increase the canvas size and make them, like, really long. Yeah, it's getting busy. It's already kind of busy with all these horns and things. And the tail crossing this. I was looking exactly at that, at the silhouette. Let me see if First I'm gonna merge the... Can I do... Ooh, no, I can't. It's not close. Increase the tolerance. Nah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this silhouette. Okay, let's just ink. Let's ink. It's good to have areas of rest. Yeah, that's why I was thinking not adding the scales, because other than just the thing you said, it's creating too much to look at. I want the viewer to focus on the face. So okay, it's time to ink, everybody. And this is gonna take time. We're probably gonna continue this on Monday, and then on Tuesday we will do the Pokemon. I inked a lot today. This is, oh, it's my second ink, but the other was extremely detailed. Chase is not here, so I don't know if I can show it. I will not. I think it might be a boss. I am looking at the FF8 Leviathan, obviously, for reference, because that's the one that mostly inspired me. But yeah, areas of rest are important. Of course. So yeah, I was saying, I'm not gonna be playing tomorrow. I'm not gonna be playing Final Fantasy tomorrow. I'm gonna do it on Sunday because I have another invite to my friend's place, so I'm gonna eat another pizza tomorrow. I'm sorry, but since it's summer and I will not get to do this kind of stuff in Japan because nobody. I mean, I have a wedding to go to. I don't want to. But I know my wife will be sad if I don't. If she's listening to this. Looks cool. I should do more critters. Yeah. And you should stream. You should stream. You should really stream. Wait, this is the eye is small enough, yeah. Small enough. You should stream again. Cheese was pretty cool. I think you can get a pretty good following. If you keep streaming like ZBrush. But even when you draw, like, I'm sure you would get a lot more views than me. Also because you do characters. I generally don't. You haven't been sculpted? Well, you did. The last thing I saw was a gorilla. I would give you a hard time, but it's not like you will find a good pizza in Japan for a while, right? The thing is, pizza is not very good for me because it's got cheese, and I am slightly intolerant. I can take it, but it's not, like my guts gonna feast and rejoice. Quite the opposite. So I do it for the company because I'm not gonna see my friends for a long time when I go to Japan. So this is the only time I can meet them, and also I like their daughter a lot. She's the same age as my daughter, and she's very clever. So I get to play the sort of uncle when I'm here, which I enjoy very much. I like to stream. I did get a mic. Oh, you did? Did you get the Yeti? Just been working on other things. Okay. Let's say pizza is not good for anyone in general. Too many carbs probably. Wonder if I'm even intolerant to dairy or cheddar. Weddings and Pizza, the movie. It was a Yeti, yeah. I thought you wanted to get another headset in the end. So I don't remember if you actually did get the mic or the headset. This thing makes no logical sense, but I like it because it's Amano-esque. I'm probably gonna add some like or whatever, like little spikes on top. Make it look even more massive and threatening and menacing. Oh, look at that. What kind of mouth is that? That's ridiculous. That's ludicrous. I like it. It's not heavy, really. Oh, right, because you do music. So yeah, no stream tomorrow, stream on Sunday. And so on Sunday afternoon I will have to do what I do on Sunday evening. Which is usually just reviewing my weekly goals and things, adjust my strategies. I think it's actually very useful to do. At least once a week. Review your performance based on various metrics. Better. It's been going far. I really like music. I know. You should publish something. You never publish anything. You're gonna die like unknown, like all those authors and artists. Then when they find them dead and pages and pages of comics or music that's never seen the light because they were too shy to show. They were too shy to shine. There you go. How about that? Too shy to shine. Don't be too shy to shine. Shine. Shine, butterfly. Fly. As long as you can. Because one day maybe you'll become deaf or blind. You won't be able. I'll be able to do that anymore. No, I'll publish something, but I haven't composed anything finished yet. Can you let me hear some of the pieces, like parts that you composed? Not even sure what I did here. I think this is a scale some sort. Side as well. I do like the geometric kind of look of the beak. It's basically a beak. Intentionally. Because I feel like Leviathan loses some of the qualities of sea serpent if it looks too much like a dragon. I would rather just have it be more swordfish, basically. Like, it's not exactly a beak, it's still a mouth, but it's very pointy and featureless, sort of. I don't really have like a big masseter. You really need a good grasp of most instruments you have, right? Not easy. What's my favorite instrument? Violin. Violin. And piano also, but in orchestra I would say the violin. Because it gets like, it can strike those really high notes. And usually violin like solos are my favorite in any composition. Like, considering all of the music I know, which is not much, admit. Usually the parts of the songs that I usually prefer are with violins. So, like, even in the, I mean, I could mention a ton of songs. Like for once, like we're doing Final Fantasy, Melodies of Life. The part that I prefer is the violin part. The violin basically solo. I don't know how many they are, but it's basically just arcs, I guess. I'm not a fan of brass instruments or drums. Yeah, the bass, drums, and timpani and overall percussions really have a lot of power at present. They do. At the same time, I want more. I like melody more than rhythm. Violin, the viola, any with a double bass are incredible. Violin would have been a cool instrument to learn if I had time. Brass winds. I'm not very into technical terms. I mean, in general, like trumpets, whatever, anything with brass. Yeah, I prefer like sound that sounds like the voice of a person. So violin would be better. For my personal tastes. That's definitely my favorite. Followed by piano, or up there. It depends on the mood, I guess. But on average, yeah, violin, like in an orchestra. Absolutely. Obviously, the piano can do anything and reach pretty much the full. I think it can reach the full scale, right? Of every possible sound. At least the grand pianos. The brass winds, trumpets, brass that flows the air to create sound. Yeah. Yeah, those ones. What about woodwinds, like flutes? Flutes, yeah. Flutes, why not? I like flutes. I do like flutes. I like clarinet. Yeah, I like that. I would say why not? The oboe too. Yeah. In fact, one of my favorite flute songs is an oboe from The Mission with Robert De Niro. That's so sweet. Jeremy Irons is playing it. He's a missionary in South America during the time when there were missions. That's why it's called The Mission. And that's a very, very good movie, by the way. Very interesting. Very good characterization. Very good. Very, very good acting. Very good. I like the growth and the way the De Niro character acts and the way it ends. Really nice movie. I should watch it again. But the music of that flute is like, man, that's so good. Well, it's an oboe, I think. It is very good. So it's like you probably heard it. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's very, very famous. Very famous. It's an Italian composer. What's his name? It's escaping me. Morricone, who composed it. It's a very sweet melody. I like it a lot. Very divine. There's a lot of divine element in it. Yep. That's right, cheese. I recommend watching that movie. It's not for everybody, okay? If you hate religion and stuff, I don't mind. And just the character development and the how can I say? Not just the growth. It's the like the way they talk about guilt and redemption. That's really cool. That's really cool. Really cool. I really like that part. Religion, swords, and Murray kind of sounds like fun, yeah. Oh yeah, he makes incredible pieces. Incredible pieces. So the story is, it's not a spoiler, it's just it happens at the beginning. In the very beginning, I think he's called Mendoza, the character De Niro plays. He goes to war. He's a mercenary. No, not to war. He's just a mercenary. Probably he goes to a mission or something. He's got a wife, but then his wife cheats on him with his brother, and he's furious when he finds out. He comes back unexpectedly, I guess. He finds out, he's furious, and he leaves. But his brother follows him, and he's like, wait, like, because he's afraid that he might hurt his wife, right? That's the brother's lover, and so they engage in a fight, and De Niro kills his brother. So that's where everything starts. So from there, it's a whole path of redemption, basically. And there are two characters. I guess two main characters, Father Gabriel and him, Mendoza. Sorry if that's not the name. That's what I remember. And it's very cool to see the different approach they have to things. Yeah, that was very bad, bro. Very, very bad, bro. Very, very bad. It's very interesting character-wise, especially because of the juxtaposition of Mendoza and De Niro's character and Jeremy Irons' character, Father Gabriel. He was very young. And there is a very young Liam Neeson too in this movie. So, in one of his first movies, I guess. I don't know, but he was very young. Sounds interesting, especially the recurring themes of betrayal and forgiveness. Yes, forgiveness is a big thing. Forgiveness is a big thing. Again, it's not a movie for everybody, but if you can like it, it's gonna be very meaningful, I would say. Very meaningful. So where's my tissue? Damn weeds. Problem is we cut them right in front of my window, so I got the allergy yesterday, and today I'm reaping the rest of the results. It sucks because I never had allergy before going to Japan, but okay, whatever. Yeah, no, not rain. The grass. It was too tall. It was like 6 feet. 4 to 6 feet. No kidding. I know it's tall, but it's a forest, basically. Oh, there's a cat outside. He's meowing. Kind of funny when cats like argue and they look like people talking. Speaking of, you should look up goats. I think I mentioned it yesterday. Goats that yell like people. I'm in a Ghibli movie, yeah. It's not very nice. I've been in a Ghibli movie and I did not appreciate it when I was in Japan. I will be in a Ghibli movie again. Actually, I could share some photos that they really look like. I can say many bad things about Japan, but their nature is really awesome. Probably because it's so humid. which is a problem. So it's good to visit, but that's pretty much it. It's good to visit, but I've seen near some families rice field or field, like whatever field, vegetables. I've seen very beautiful sceneries, very bucolic, I guess you can call them. Bucolic. Yeah, the nature element of Japan looks really cool. It is, honestly. It's also the greatest problem. Of course. Lots of natural disasters and whatnot. It's a double-edged sword, as always. There is no perfect place, there is no paradise on earth. Even though they sell Japan to you as it is, as if it is paradise, it's not. Their marketing machine is insane. All the people. I think Samuel in the Discord today said, "Oh, I want to go to Japan. I'm like, yeah, it's not exactly like that. Unfortunately, it's not really what you think. It's not. It's beautiful to visit. Again, it is nice, but do not think it's the promised land." That's why I really want to visit Hokkaido, where that part is more wild. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of stairs though. Not stairs, but stairs. In Hokkaido. Especially if you go to areas that are a little less prone to seeing tourists. They're not very friendly and welcoming there. Just things I read. I've never been to Hokkaido. I might. Depending on how cold it is in early October. We'll see. I've got to take the family out because we never go. And the wife is resenting. Obviously. I am a slippers person. So I rarely go out. I've got too many things to do. No, not that kind of stare. Like, you cannot come into this place, you stupid foreigner, kind of stare. I'm soon gonna run into a gaijin that appreciate me. Who knows? I almost never run. I mean, I have run into foreigners more in the last year than previously, or earlier this year, I guess. But not in my area. Certainly, if you go to Tokyo, although there are more people in general, you're obviously gonna find more gaijin. Though, to be fair, most people that live there, like, they're gonna hate me, but I'm sorry I have to say this. Most people that live or want to live in Japan are either losers in their home country. Like, that's what I read, literally. Like, today there was a Reddit post, and there was someone saying, if your mental health has improved in Japan, can you please share why? And 90% of people were like, oh, I was a loser in my home country. Like, well, you're still a loser then. You're not a loser because you go to another country and everyone treats you like a specialty. You're still a loser. That's so either that or there were people, well, it's safe here. I'm happy that everyone is so kind. At least even if it's a facade. Most people are either losers by their own admission, or they are scared of their shadow, and they don't like confrontation. I've seen people saying, yeah, well, I like the fact that people are not confrontational here. That's not good. Non-confrontation is bad. Let me just say it again. Non-confrontation is bad for you. You want to be confrontational. Otherwise, you cannot grow. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm not liking Japan, because nobody is confrontational. And being confrontational is the prerequisite for solving problems. You cannot pretend to solve a problem if you're not confrontational. Between couples, between anything. Co-workers. So the fact that Japan is not confrontational is not a pro. It's a con. How can you be a loser and move to a country that expects you to work hard? I don't know. But they were losers. But they were on a mission. They literally said, I was a loser in my home country. But now I'm here and like, I get laid, like literally. They wrote I get laid and I have a job and I earn a lot of money. Like, yeah. I don't know, maybe that was a troll, but I've seen more than that, like several that were saying like, well, I did not like my own country, I have nothing, my family is abusive. People who would generally like, you're not gonna find someone who was living well in their own country and left for Japan and went to Japan to live and finds it better. Kinda hard. I'm not a super fan of my own country, but God, it's hard to, Japan is a very hard country to appreciate. So yeah, I prefer cheese because it's, you know, obviously you're a Western looking guy in Japan and you're gonna be famous for a while. That's common knowledge, right? If you can't get a girl in your country, just go to Japan. You will get at least one gaijin hunter that doesn't really care about you though. So that's still a loser thing to do. But that's not the solution. You gotta work on yourself. Not just go to another country and you're gonna feel special because you're the only one that looks in a certain way. Like, that is still loser-ish and lame-ish. So woe to you, people of Reddit who wrote that. I'm sorry if you're listening to this. Go home. Work on yourself. There are some pros. Again, I mean, safety is a good thing, but too much safety makes the man weak. The problem with Japan is that it's so... It can be so comfortable. Like, I'm always sick now because I have kids and the diseases there... I'm not Japanese, obviously, so they're pretty bad. But on average, it's a pretty comfortable country. Like, everything is... You're treated like a child all the time. And some people like that. I don't. Because it stifles your growth. So... I would be very careful to appreciate that side of Japan, because one day you'll be older and you will think, well, maybe, you know, now if I had more chances to confront with people, now that I would be able to express my opinions. There's a low standard that honestly, yeah. Do they have milk time? You know what? They might. I mean, considering they breastfeed until I don't know how old. My daughter is still being breastfed. She's almost 2. And for me, that's a lot. I think I took like 1 year. I don't know. I was pretty early as a kid. I was off my diapers at man, it's like 6 months or something. Maybe 1 year. No, 1 year and a few months probably. My mom told me. Maybe not that much, but my sister was the same. But in Japan, they wear diapers until like they're 6. Jesus Christ, that's too much. I'm not gonna have my kids wear diapers until they're 6. It is a little insane, if you ask me. No more nappies. Unless you have issues, obviously my kids don't, fortunately. Not yet. That's one thing I noticed about the man there. It's turning more and more feminine. Not only that, or maybe this one should be different. Let me see. Yeah, let's keep it. Again, I'm gonna be symbolically downvoted, or someone's gonna leave a dislike. But the fact that you know, kids bathe with their moms until they're like 10 or something. That is not good. I'm sorry. It's not to be bigot. I think it creates a very serious psychological issue. Like, how do you explain they're so maniac? In Japan, the amount of groping and stuff that happens, that is insane. It is insane, man. Like, they literally have to say, like, it was funny when I went to the live drawing session, because you could not even pull out your phone to take a photo of of your drawing, because it is disallowed, because people are so maniac, they're gonna go there and so, you know, dying for that they will just go to the drawing session to take photos of the naked woman. Like, come on, that is insane. Yes, cheese. Excuse me. I think that is. I have no, because I don't see much else. Incapacity to communicate to the other sex also. Like complete emotional incapacity. It's something I'm gonna. I am stressing when raising my kids. Like, you gotta know how to talk to a person of the opposite gender. It's just a person. So, the quote unquote shyness they exhibit, that's just social incapacity, social ineptitude, and that is not good. That certainly helps in developing that. Hey, Baron of Bees. Thank you. I don't have a cold. I have allergy because I cut the grass yesterday, as I said. And now the just newly cut grass is sitting in front of my window. So all day in, day out. Also, compared to the previous days, it's been windy compared to the previous days when it was hot, and I kept the window open. So hey, pollen frenzy. This is Leviathan so far. I think it's looking good. It's gonna take some time to ink though. Legit. I'm not bad. It's just have a little bit of a stuffy nose, but I'm not bad. Only when I'm here next to the window. And when it's open. Otherwise I don't. The perks of living in the countryside and having my stupid uncle not cutting the grass when it was time. Now is like 6 feet tall. And harboring God knows what. There were no snakes though yesterday. At least, but there were wasps, so the neighbor called them ground wasps. So. Not friendly. So that's not nice. Yep. Thank you, Simone. And when you have a generation of men detached from understanding a healthy relationship, entertainment that inflates an appropriate kind of behavior, it sounds like a disaster. It kind of is. But you do get those types of creeps here as well. Yeah, but trust me, in Japan, like in the West, you do not get people stealing underwear. At least not here. I don't know about US, but like, why do you have people steal, like, of any age, stealing underwear? Why? God damn. You gotta be sick in your head. Seriously, you don't even know that person might be even sick or something. I don't know. But that's disgusting. Dude. Yeah, I know there's a market for any kind of perversion, for sure. I'm just saying, over there it is more. It is more. Because I've seen it. And I've been told, like, they literally, like, they have to put cameras in laundry coin shops, coin laundries, because, you know, someone just goes there and sniffles someone else's laundry. And sometimes they take them, like, especially if it's a woman's laundry. Not so much, I guess, not so much my small village, I guess, because it's a small village, mostly old people, so it would do that. But still. Hey, not just old man, actually. Not just old. Not just old. Unfortunately. It's a bit of everything everywhere, so it's unfortunate. Anyway. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to use the coin laundry. I'm probably gonna buy a dryer when I go there. Put it in my garage or a warehouse. They buy farts in a jar. They do? Yeah, but maybe it's not so mainstream. I don't know. I feel like it's mainstream in Japan. That is a problem. It's so mainstream it requires laws, you know, to compensate for that. So the thing that you always hear, oh yeah, I'm happy now that I'm in Japan because I'm a young girl, 4'8", and I don't have to feel afraid if I got denied. Yeah, but try to go to the convenience store and let there be an old man sitting there waiting for you. He's gotta grope you, 100%. They do that all the time. So I might have even seen that in person. Actually, I think I did. Not sure. I might have just removed the memory, but I think I've seen something like that. Yeah, bathwater. Yuck. You're at least low risk. I don't think many guys will be trying to do something. Yeah, but I do the laundry for everybody, even my wife. So. Whatever, I'm not going to spend a whole evening complaining about Japan again, also because we're almost done. There's a guy I never understood that the girl itself that profits off of your desperation for love will think a little of you. Yes. Yes, they do. Well, it depends. It depends on the woman. I guess some of them want weak emotional man because easy to control. Simply as that. Oji-san, yeah. It just means grandpa. Actually, nice old men are called like Oi-chan. For some reason. Like my wife knows this old man from when she was a kid. He's like 80. And she calls him Oi-chan. He's like a family friend. Actually, we gotta go to his daughter's wedding. That's why I have to go there a little earlier. I'm really not looking forward to be ignored for, I don't know, 5 hours or something. Eat horrible food and have to pay for that. So the thing that, no, I promised I would not. But damn, why did I say so? No, this is for family. Oichan it's like literally. It's used for anything cutesy. So no, it's not. There's no romance implying that. It's used for kids too. Like for a kid, you can use both, even if it's a boy. Un and Chan, you can use both. Shut up, Emperor Cheese. I specifically asked not to be called Chan in any possible way because I hate it. And you know how they were calling me and why I complained. Because I told you when I was at Watts. They stopped then. They did stop. Probably because they got annoyed by me. And now I'm not so kind anymore. I'm just an annoying old man. Huh. Yeah, probably want to. Yeah, I'm gonna do it with the other brush, I guess. How dare you? But not this one specific. Came up with this one. Yeah, I don't know. My sympathies, thank you. That time with Ian, we also decided why you cannot be called Chun. Remember that? It sounds too much like another word. So better avoid that. Yeah, man. It's looking good though. Now I'm gonna have to upload this before my computer dies. Nemo was the young buck in the Watt school. No, I was not young. Actually, I was one of the oldest there. Because I was 29. Almost 20. Yeah, almost 29 when I went there. And everyone was like 22, 24, 26. So they're like, you gotta be kidding. Because I don't look like that. I mean, maybe now when I go to Japan, I look very old because I'm very tired all the time. But if you see me now, I don't look 34 at all. I look maybe 28 or something. You understand Japanese? Does my name mean anything in Japanese? No. No, man means like 10,000. But I don't really know. No, I don't think so. Not that I'm not off the top of my head. Oh shit! I was not recording again. God, I stopped recording before I didn't start. It's fine. I'm not gonna ink it again. It's still half of it undone. Okay. I speak generally decent Japanese. Why? I mean, depends on what you mean by decent. I can get around by myself. I can go around by myself. I can talk with people if we have a dinner or something. But not everything. Sometimes, no. Like if I have to be very specific, I don't know things like extrapolate. I can make it up of other words, but I certainly do not sound very smart. Because I use pretty simple words and just a limited number. My vocabulary is not very good. So, you still want to learn? That's useless. You're not gonna learn it unless you need it anyway. 10,000 number of bees under my command. Because you're the Baron of Bees. Okay. So I forgot to record this last part, but I'm still gonna record the rest of the inking part process. If not, I might just re-record the ink, or I will not post a time lapse of this. I don't know. I'm sorry about that. I stopped the recording so that it didn't break. Even if I forgot to do this, so it was completely useless anyway. Okay. I should be more careful. Anyway, tomorrow I'm not gonna be here again. I will be here on Sunday, and we're gonna play Final Fantasy II. Hopefully this time we will finish it. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. Nobody to raid. So you guys, thank you very much for being here with me, and I will talk to you in 2 days on Sunday. Take care and have a good weekend.